Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Quirky Dorks Podcast. It is May 24th, 2021, and Fiela's here again.
Hello, how you doing?
Say hi, buddy.
Hi, buddy.
We're back. Um, we've made it this far. Thank you all for the support and the recent stuff. It's been a lot, and we're thankful to continue doing this. Fiel, you can segue this one. You can lead us off.
Alrighty. So today's conversation is basically just gonna be about, I guess you say, our changes in life. I don't want to make it like real serious and nothing like that. I want this to be a fun episode. But we're finally starting to come to an end in our, high school experience. We're 3 years into high school, and well, I'm graduating early, so I only have half a year left. But to everybody else who is a senior, we're almost done. And we all know as a senior, it's all about getting ready for college, figuring out what you're going to do in your next step of life, and senior year is always, just a fun experience. And high school has been a roller coaster. We've spent half of our time in school and half of our time out of school,
Mm-hmm.
literally. So, I mean, I guess I can start it off by just asking you a question. How do you feel, in just your 3 years, how do you feel your high school experience has been?
Free at last, free at last. Thank God.
Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. I feel that, bro.
No, I'm kidding. It's been interesting. I've enjoyed the time that I had through high school. Um,
Yeah,
it doesn't feel too slow or too fast. It feels like the right amount. I feel like I've learned a lot with like meeting new people and definitely changing of environment because I kind of moved from the area where my middle school was, and coming out of that I think was really good. Never trade. I wouldn't trade these years away. I've had a good time.
right, man. For me, it's been rocky. My freshman year was about my best year of high school. You know, then my sophomore year, I was just lost. You know, I really was. I was just lost my sophomore year.
I didn't know
I
where I
mean,
was at sophomore year.
literally, and figuratively. Like I came to a new school. I had no clue where I was supposed to be at. So literally, I was lost, and then figuratively, I just was not in the right headspace my sophomore year.
Yeah.
Then the junior year. I mean, what's crazy is that sophomore year we really only had about half of sophomore year.
Mhm.
Because I mean, the pandemic started, and we went on lockdown in like what, March, was it? February?
Mhm. It was like
Right.
March.
So right. So I mean, I don't know. I can't like. How did you like feel about the first semester of e-learning in March in sophomore year?
It was a breeze. I took it. Now I'm feeling like, yeah, I handled that. Um, no, it wasn't that bad at all, actually. I know like the first week, because when we first got out, I was like, oh, it's just gonna be a few weeks, guys, and we'll be back. So I just acted like it was normal school and like went along with everything. I'd actually
Yeah.
argue the end of sophomore year, where we like when we were on lockdown, was a lot easier than going through a whole new year of doing that. Like it definitely, if I felt a lot more drained throughout the progress of junior year than I did sophomore year. I don't
Hmm.
know. I don't know if that's the same for everyone. I know some people during that were like really bummed out, and they had to kind of pick it up towards the end. But I don't know. It's kind of felt draining, like to progress down. However,
Yeah.
I did appreciate last year though, because I was able to get all the stuff I needed to get done. I worked a lot towards the summer, in between sophomore and junior year, and I got the good school stuff I wanted to get done with like grades. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah. For me, it was totally different. When we left, um, everything just changed, and I'm not really, and like I said, I'm not really a school person. which means like it takes me some time, what I'm saying, to get used to everything, to
Mm-hmm.
learn a lot of stuff. I'm not really that type of school person. So when um we went to e-learning, and e-learning was so horrible because they just didn't have anything figured out. And so what it was literally they would just assign homework to um Google Classroom, and we would just have to do it from there, you know.
Very
And
Professor College-esque. Here's your work, get it done. Which
that's exactly how it was.
I wouldn't have
That's
a
exactly
problem
how it
with,
was.
I actually like that format of being able to, I can plan out what I need to get done. Because it's kind of, I think it forces yourself to have the discipline. And I kind
Yeah.
of, I don't know, I find that challenge good. It can be stressful, but like trying to work through myself of being able to handle myself and with doing work like that, I think is good. However, beginning of this year was not good with that. With like, oh, I have all this time because it felt like a whole year of doing it, and I think definitely there is some like crunch nights through junior year. I don't know about you. I know for me it was it was quite a bit, a few crunch days.
Yeah. Man, it was hard for that first like little semester of e-learning, but I feel like once we got like back, once they had everything figured out, it became a lot easier. Plus, like you said, over the summer, I mean, I was working, I had a job, and things, a lot of things was, better just outside of school for me. And once we got back to school, honestly, I would say that, like, I would say junior year has been my best year in terms of like actually learning something.
Oh,
You
I
know,
was gonna say, so academics like grades are better.
like that, but also just like in societal, and just things you're gonna learn outside of school, just in growing up in life. I feel like junior year has been the best year that I actually learned a lot. In school, outside of school, just with everything that happened in junior year with the pandemic and everything.
You
I
got
feel like I just,
you got street
I feel,
smart
really,
for the
really. I
streets.
mean, I had a job, um, with everything that went on in 2020. I mean, I was more knowledgeable about what was going on in the world. Um, my grades were a lot better, dude. I made the honor roll for the first time in it was for the first time since like kindergarten.
Congratulations to
So
that.
see what I'm saying? So I mean, like honestly, it was like I really did feel like I learned a lot in junior year. So really, junior year I wouldn't trade it for anything. I feel like junior year was about my best year.
That's good. Um, it's probably my best academic year too. I think it just
Yeah,
feels like it's dragging more because of the days you really don't do anything. It's like, oh no. But
yeah,
it's coming together good. I'm glad where I'm at in the junior year.
yeah. I am too. Um,
Oh,
well, I
that
guess
just
I can ask
sorry
you.
to. I was gonna if you can hold that question, I was gonna add on to
Yeah,
that. If we're talking about learning, I would never have learned how to build a PC or know anything about computers without the pandemic.
really.
Like, because we just had our Chromebooks and I didn't really need a home computer, but because everything is done
Wow.
online, I'm like, okay, I'll just get a gaming PC so I can get an all-in-one. And I had to learn how to build it, and then I'm learning more about like how to download stuff and what drivers and everything are, which I kind of
Mhm.
understood but never like know how to do. And I'm really thankful I'm able to do stuff with like that now. Like I'm able to edit better. This past few months, I'm learning how to edit, audio and everything better and use green screen. And that just never would have happened.
That's cool. That's cool. Um, Probably the only thing that never would have happened without the pandemic is just me just becoming more responsible and everything. I feel like the pandemic kind of forced me to grow up a little faster than normally. Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense? So, I mean, with the pandemic happened and everything, I got a job. I mean, when I had my license, I was just, kind of forced to kind of, I wouldn't say take care of myself, but take care of my own responsibilities. And so I really feel like it kind of just grew me up. Just I kind of grew up a lot faster with the
Yeah.
pandemic. Not saying that the pandemic was great or anything, but yeah. Honestly, I feel like the. But what's weird is that like, and I would talk about this all the time. I feel like the pandemic had like it's good and it's bad. Does that make sense?
No, yeah. I feel like
Because like,
that could be
because like
said.
with me like starting to look at colleges and stuff like that, I was watching the news and they're like, "Oh yeah, so you don't have to submit your SAT score." And my SAT scores are horrible. I don't do good on tests. So I'm like, that's actually a good thing, you know?
Uh-huh.
With e-learning, I mean, a lot of people benefited from e-learning. Honestly, I feel like especially me, I definitely benefited from e-learning.
Yeah.
So honestly, I feel like the pandemic, I feel like it had its good and its bad, you know?
We gotta talk about the one bad thing though.
What?
Feel it's very serious, alright?
Let's go.
They we are no longer gonna have any more snow days, Fiel. They're gonna take away our snow days.
Oh man, that was horrible.
You know they're
Right,
gonna
like
implement like online learning into like those kinds of days now.
I
Because people
definitely
still have internet access, they can still have the class online and get work done.
yeah, yeah. I actually heard that they're talking about going full capacity next year.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
Yeah,
honestly, have
because
you been outside though? Like,
uh,
it feels back to normal again. And it's kind of
it really
uncanny.
does.
Like, I was downtown in, like, the city next to, like, the lake in Chicago. And there's no mask. And everyone's just, like, walking around and smiling. It's very jarring after having over a year of just mask and, like, shut down.
Yeah, what's weird about it is that like when I was at my job, my supervisor was telling us that we're going back to full capacity. I'm a lifeguard at a water park, and they was telling us that this year, this summer, we're going back to full capacity on opening day, which is Saturday. So it's like, and then I also heard that it was like if you have the vaccine that you don't have to wear a mask, and I'm like,
Yeah, I was saying about that. In the
I
words of
don't know,
Joe Biden, pull down your mask and smile.
I was like, I don't know, I was like, I feel like we rushing everything,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. Honestly, I still felt like we should never open the schools back up. You
Yeah.
know, I feel like
Definitely
that
like
was
little
something that we should
kids.
have done. Yeah,
Like kids are the grossest like age
they
group
were.
of human being with
Yeah, and
disease.
it's because it's like they just don't have the knowledge of everything.
It's
And
not
plus
even
it's
that.
like,
Like, okay, let me set the stage for this feel. You're at your auntie's like cookout, all right?
hmm
Mm-hmm. One of your like third distant cousins has some like mama or friend, and they have like a little kid who's like 3 or 4 years old, right?
right,
He got no shirt on, or he got an A shirt on with like sports shorts.
right.
Now he come over, he got barbecue sauce all over his face. He got them like sweaty, like grabby hands because you know they got little hands, and they come up to you.
Yeah,
Then they
yeah.
sneeze on their hand, and they got a single rib in their hand. It's like they hand it to you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Fiel, there's no reason why we should be having little kids out with that like set or stage in their life to come
That is
home and not bring
definitely true.
disease.
Plus another thing is I feel like just like little kids are just like playful. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they always trying to play around, especially like kindergartners, first graders. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can attest to this. I mean, dude, when I was in kindergarten, I was in first grade. I was just trying to play with my friends and stuff, you know. That's all
Yeah.
I was really trying to do. So it's like I don't get how you can actually um make so I don't really how you can actually social distance little kids when all they trying to do is just play around with each other. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That's kind of I don't know. I feel like that was kind of stupid. I feel like if anything, they should just open high schools back up. For I would have been okay with that, but high schools are at least knowledgeable about what they should and should not do. You know?
Uh, eh. I guess.
Really? They're more knowledgeable
Have
than little
you
kids.
have you seen like when we were freshmen and we go in the bathroom and there all the seniors like passing around a vape? That is still a
Yeah.
thing. Like how does are you people don't care. It's just entirely as like a group of people regardless. We just haven't been caring the way we should have. At least in
Yeah, that's
first
true.
world
That's
countries
true.
that at least.
That's true. That is actually true. I'll give
Bro,
you that one. That's actually
pass. And
true.
then like it spreads COVID. Just even a cold. Like
Yeah.
I didn't wouldn't even want to do that before COVID.
Hmm.
It's kind of hard to be like one of the first germaphobes now because everyone kind of feels gross about sneezing. Like I felt that way beforehand when someone would sneeze out loud.
You know what I would always try to do, even before COVID, I would always try to hide my sneeze. And so to the point where whenever I sneezed, it would sound like a little girl sneezing. So they would just be looking around trying to find this little girl who sneezed. Then they'd look at me. They're like, "Was that just you?" I was like, "Pew." That's exactly how I used to sneeze. Like I was like, "Pew."
I've
They'd be looking
mastered
around.
my anti-sneezing technique. I sneeze and
They'd
there
be
is not a
looking.
single sound that comes out.
Really?
The only way you'll know that if I sneeze if it's a little tear gone down from doing it too much. you may, you hold it in and it makes your eyes water.
No, or that.
You know what that just
They're like, what
reminded
are you
me of?
doing?
It's not
What?
sneezing, but I used to take tutoring at local library, and I was in there with this tutor, and there was always this old man that'd be in there that like clear his throat. But I've
Mm.
never heard a man clear his throat like this. He'd be like, and then that would be it.
What? Like a, it's like an engine revving over.
So, but he
It's
wouldn't.
like an engine revving over, like a bad engine.
Well, you know, like when you cough, it's sometimes different. It has like different, like I don't know, but it was like every like 10 minutes it'd go off and he'd do that. It was like timed. It was never like a time where it didn't miss, and it was like timed of him going, and then and then like stopping and everyone looking around like pissed. It's
Oh
like,
wow.
ugh. But sorry, back to the sneezing though. It's like, nah. I was grossed about this before COVID.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, yo, what was weird is that like especially cause you know I have like severe allergies, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and so the one thing that I was actually really worried about was like um what's gonna happen over during the winter when my allergy starts to act up? Like, how is that gonna how is that gonna affect everything? Like, I don't want to, Like, I was so scared about that. But what's weird is that I had no problem with my allergies this year.
Hmm.
That's what's crazy. It's like the one year where there's a global pandemic. That's the one year where I have no problems with my allergies.
Well, let me ask you this: did you go outside much? No, because of
Yeah,
COVID.
yes, I did though.
Everyone was still
I did.
inside. Like you
I
weren't
mean, I
around
had,
other people.
but I was working. I was though.
Oh, I guess I don't know.
I was like yeah, I was working. I had like I had a job and literally nobody and like it was a small space. So really everybody, was and I was the janitor at that. So like that's what's weird is that like I mean, and I quit the job towards December, toward around the time that my allergies would start acting up. But I actually felt like that I would have like the most amount of problems um over this year, but I actually didn't.
Yeah, that's good though.
Yeah,
Not having any allergies. I don't know. I think it might be. I think it's a lot of people too. I don't think my allergies were that bad this year either. But
yeah,
yeah, allergies are cooked. And if you have a common cold, you can't go out in public. People are so like, ugh. It feels
yeah.
uncomfortable to sneeze or even have a running nose without everyone like giving you like the death stare.
Mm. How did you like? How like on a scale from 1 to 10? How were you when it came to like being out in public?
Um, maybe 6 or 7.
Yeah,
I still don't give it. I feel like a lot of not maybe not a lot of people, but some people definitely went out to grocery stores a little more than what they should have. Like if
yeah.
one person was going to the grocery store, that should have been it. It shouldn't have been multiple people. Or like hanging out with friends still, with like small groups still, and like I have memories of not like doing the best social distancing, and I don't know. We're all part of the problem.
Yeah, honestly, oh man,
I
yeah,
would have
honestly, I
preferred
would
some
do
like
the same.
propaganda though. Like if they just posted like Ebola symptoms for COVID, we would be the pandemic would have been over months ago.
Honestly, that's true. It would. I don't know about that. Actually, I don't know about that.
Like come on now, they said like your eyes, nose, and ears and everything will fall off if you get COVID. I have no doubt that people would not be inside like freaked out about that.
Well, I mean, still, I mean, you still have those. I mean, people like Donald Trump who like it's a fake. So
Nah, I mean like genuinely, if the virus did that and people saw that on TV, would be like, nah, I'm staying inside. I don't want that.
I mean, but still, it's like we had. I mean, they had evidence. I mean, they had people sitting up here like, "Oh yeah, this man just died." I mean, they had people who survived the pandemic, and they would share their stories about how they lost their sense of smell and lost their sense of taste.
I'm not
And they would
saying
be
it's not a bad. It can cause serious symptoms. I don't know. I just
no. What
feel
I'm
like
saying is
if it
like
was more graphic and in your face, people would be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna stay inside. I just think
it
it would
makes
be
sense.
interesting to see what would have happened, like the other side of that.
Yeah.
I would have stayed at home. I would not have gone out at all. Seeing
Yeah,
your
like during the
nose and everything
pandemic.
fall off, screw that.
Yeah.
If you saw that, come on now.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I would. During the pandemic, though, I honestly was out in public, like, and I was honestly just out way more than I really should have been. Just gonna be totally honest. I mean, I was swimming.
That was a
I
no
did
no. Like I feel like that checks a box. Like
swimming was actually better. It
how
was
can
some
it be? How
sports
is it gonna be
where,
distance? So if you're sharing everything in the water, even though it has chlorine, but like the metal surfaces and everything.
yeah. I mean, well, I'll explain to you how they did
Okay.
everything. What they did was everyone had their own lane, right? So there was no circle swimming, which I was glad because I hate circle swimming. Um, Two, no one was right next to each other. So like one person would be in the deep end in lane one, and then the other person would be in the shallow end in lane two. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
okay.
Right. So no one was right next to each other. Um, whenever they were explaining the set, you had to wear a mask, which was horrible because I was always in the deep end, and my mask would always get wet. So
Wait,
whenever
they
like,
wait. I was gonna ask you, did they have you all wear masks in the pool?
well, no, of course not while we were swimming, but like let's say like we just let's say for example me for my practice we would get there. Okay, we're gonna start off with a 7 minute swim. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
once we get done with the 7 minute swim and she's explaining the set, when we're not swimming and we just sitting on the wall watching her explain, listen to her explain the set, we have to put our mask on,
Mm.
right? So
So if you're in the water, I know some people were. Did you have to like wade water the whole time?
you said what?
Did you have to like wade water with the mask on while they were explaining?
What do you mean by that?
You know wading water?
No, actually, I don't.
You don't feel. How are you a swimmer? Come
Wait,
on.
I am. Hold on. Waiting.
Wading water. It's when you're stationary. You're not swimming, but you have to like kick your arms and legs around.
Dude, treading water?
Isn't it wading water?
It's treading water.
Okay. There was a misconception there. I'm like, how do you not know it? Are you
Yeah,
sure?
babe. Yeah, I am totally sure it's treading water.
No, wading water works too.
It's both. It's basically the same thing, honestly. I feel like it's honestly just like a different word.
Is it? I don't know. I'm probably gonna look, y'all.
Okay. Anyway,
I know people are
yeah.
probably gonna tell us what it is in the comments. How do
Yeah.
you not know what waiting?
Honestly, well, yeah, basically that. Yeah, we will basically have to tread water if we was in the deep end, which I was always in the deep end. We would have to tread water with our mask on while they were explaining the sets. Another thing was, of course, the temperature check before before practice. Of course, the temperature check. And then we had this survey, this self survey that we had to do, which honestly made no sense because you can lie on that survey and it would basically just be asking if you had symptoms and
Oh
if you
yeah, we
know
had to do
if
that
you
too.
were, which may honestly made no sense because I could just sit up here and lie about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those were basically the restrictions and everything we had. And to be totally honest, things were actually good. Because the swim team and water polo team had no, of course we had no cases of the virus. We weren't shut down or
Mm-hmm.
anything like that. But some sports like I don't think wrestling. No, the football team and the baseball team were both shut down.
Well, they still had wrestling.
I don't think they had wrestling. I'm not
I was,
honestly I'm not 100% sure.
yeah, I was
I
gonna
don't
say
know
if
if
they
they had
still had
wrestling or not.
wrestling, that's kind of worse. I don't know.
Yeah, but I know the football team and the baseball team both shut down their season early because
Mm.
of COVID.
Yeah.
But honestly, I mean, like water polo, swimming, and both like that those type of sports, they did a good job with just social distancing and everything. I feel like another big thing was that they would always emphasize about us not really having a long season because we started late because of the virus and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and so they would always stress like do your part to make sure that we can continue the season. And of course, we wanted to continue the season because we got started so late, so we was always cautious about everything,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I feel like it was just a team effort, which made everything just run smoothly.
Yeah, that's cool though. I don't know. Maybe they didn't do that in
Yeah.
the city for a reason.
Yeah. The only bad thing that I did was the job that I had. And I mean, you know it. I mean, I was just around probably like 10 people a day, but we was always just in a crowded space, just in a small space,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. So yeah, it really was not the best.
Frying that chicken up.
And then what was crazy is that like I mean, yeah, I was working at Heroes Chicken, and so the fact that I mean it's so hot up in there because of all the frying and all that. It
Fried
was so
chicken.
hot. Right. It was
All that
so hot
fried
up in there.
chicken in there.
So a lot of us we took our masks. So a lot of people they would take their masks off because it's so hot up in there. So yeah, that was probably the worst. Like that was probably the worst thing that I did, and I really regret that honestly.
Hey, but I'm thankful nobody in my like close family or anything has gotten COVID. We've all been doing the best that we can.
You haven't had any family members that contracted the virus?
Nope. We've all
No,
been really
that's
good
good.
about that. Not.
That's
I hope
good.
I don't like shove that in anyone's face. Like, oh, my family. Like, no, it's a serious thing. Like, some people
Yeah.
just are in that situation and couldn't do anything about it. I think also I have older people in my home too, and a lot of times when I could have went outside, I'm like, no.
Yeah, I actually did have a few members that contracted the virus. Luckily, everyone is okay, which is good. But how do you feel? Because I know a few of my family members have gotten the vaccine,
I have gotten
and
the vaccine.
you've gotten the vaccine.
Yes.
Really?
Fiel, I'm feeling it. No, I'm kidding. Oh my gosh, now my baby's gonna have autism, Fiel. I got
Oh
the
no, 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 no.
vaccine.
I was just asking, like, wait, you're serious?
Oh, what was your next thing gonna be? Your next question, my bad.
So wait, hold up. So you're serious? You actually got the vaccine?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not judging you or anything because me personally, my close family, my mother, my father, my sister, they don't approve the vaccine. Don't agree with the vaccine. Me personally, I actually do. Okay. Now I have mixed feelings about it just because.
Look, here's the thing. Black folks or people of color have every right to be concerned about this.
Yeah.
Because of what the
What
government's
made
done.
Okay? What made you decide to say I feel it's safe to get the vaccine?
Shit, it wasn't me, it was my family.
Really? So if it was up to you,
So,
you wouldn't have gotten it.
I'm not saying that, but I don't know. I mean, my sister is a medical worker, so she got it first anyway. And
Right.
then after she got it, it was a few months when my mom was like, "Oh, if she got it, then she's okay," which she didn't intend for it to be like, "Oh, wait, wanted to see what happened with her." But it wasn't like that. But I think after my sister got it, we were like more comfortable with it. At least my mom was, and then we got it.
See, it's the exact opposite because I have a lot of I have a lot of family members that have gotten the vaccine. My uncles, my grandmother, my aunties. I have a lot of family members that have gotten the vaccine. They've had no problems, but still, my
Mm.
family's like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it takes like a mindset change. I think it
Me,
kind of depends on. My bad. I think it's a
yeah, me,
mindset thing though. Like
yeah,
it depends on like what your family is comfortable with, and you can't really force anybody to do what they don't want to do. Well,
right.
however, since everyone in my family got it, my dad was the only one that was kind of reluctant, and I remember he was kind of freaked out about going to because we got ours at like a CVS. I think it was the Pfizer.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was Moderna. Moderna. We got the Moderna one.
Moderna.
Which,
Okay.
it's weird how people are like flexing the brand of vaccine they're getting. Like, oh, I got Pfizer. Like, I heard Pfizer had this, but I'm using Moderna. It's like they're flexing it like it's a car. Like, get the vaccine and like help us get out of a crisis, please.
Yeah. Which vaccine did you get?
Moderna.
Moderna. Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
No symptoms. I felt fine afterward. The only thing that freaked me out when I was getting the shot, my mom had was there. Because I don't think we were both getting it, but she had to get something from CVS. And I'm sitting down and getting the vaccine, and like my mom has like a worried look on her face while like the woman's injecting me. I'm like, why are you making that face while I'm getting a controversial vaccine? And I get up, and then
Oh,
she stops making the face. I'm like, we walk over from where we got it. I was like, what was that look? And she was like, the woman couldn't open the box for the vaccine. I'm like, why would you make that face? She was like struggling to open like the packaging, and then she was making that face. I'm like, don't make that face
oh.
while I'm getting this.
Right.
Got me freaked out. That was the only thing though. Like, I didn't
Oh,
have any symptoms. It was fine. and then they have you wait 15 minutes after you get it to like test for symptoms, which that really
I
freaked
know a
my
lot of
dad
the
out.
really. Oh
He didn't
yeah, I
like
heard
freak
that.
out, but he said you have to wait 15 minutes after you get the vaccine, and he was like, "Oh, why do they have
Yeah,
you wait 15 minutes?"
I was watching ALC, a live story of on her Instagram page, and she was saying how she got the vaccine, and she was explaining all the things. I was hearing that like a few days after the vaccine, because that their arm would start hurting and everything. Did your arm get sore
I
after
mean,
taking it?
see, that's something that I don't know the full context of the article you brought up, but like that's something that happens with any vaccine you get. Have you ever gotten like a flu shot and then your arm's a little sore afterward? That's just from the needle. Like,
But I'm just gonna be totally honest.
yes.
I got the I'm just gonna be totally honest with you here. I got the flu shot once when I was a child, and I had side effects from the flu shot, and it left me in the hospital for a few weeks. So my mother and my father, they are totally against like vaccines and like shots and all those types of things because we've just had bad experiences with it. I don't know if it's maybe because of um
Allergies to what's in it.
I don't know. Like I'm not saying that it is. Honestly, I have no clue what may have caused it. Um but ever since then, my family has been totally against it. Me personally, I actually feel like I would take it because I actually trust it. Um at this point, almost half the country is vaccinated, which is what I'm saying. Almost half the country is vaccinated, and we haven't had, like ain't nobody like actually like well, a few people have, but not a lot of people have really like died from the vaccine and nothing
Mm-hmm.
like that. You know what I'm saying? So there hasn't been any
But
catastrophic
BL,
effects.
the government's gonna chip you and have a tracker on you by injecting the vaccine.
You wanna know what my parents said?
What?
They was like, you would take the vaccine and you will grow a tail.
Oh my god.
This is exact like
I mean, that's like an expression, man. They have you take that vaccine, you gonna done grown a tail.
yeah, you can grow a tail. You gonna have 20 fingers and stuff. I'm like, oh god, okay, man.
They making it seem like you gonna get like radiation, like
Right? I'm like,
mutations.
like they making it seem like you gonna take the vaccine and you gonna turn into Spider Man or something. But yeah, though that was the whole incident with the vaccine. I feel like once I get to college, I'll probably actually take the vaccine.
Yeah, and then we'll be out of it. I mean, already I feel kind of more comfortable. You
Yeah,
know, uh, I can go out and like the people. If it's everyone's vaccinated, then you don't have to wear a mask. Uh, it's I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. It's weird. But if I'm still in public or go to the grocery store, I'm still gonna wear a mask because something that concerns me, people can just say now that they're vaccinated and not wear a mask.
yeah, definitely. Do
Eh,
you um do you feel like that we'll ever like actually get back to normal?
yeah, but I think my mom doesn't agree with this opinion, but I don't think my sister or my mom. I don't think people really agree with this, but I think we're gonna get things are gonna get back to normal. But I think definitely we're gonna have a um affected generation. Not to say that it's gonna be like jaded or anything, but there's definitely gonna be a generation of people who I think we're gonna be a lot more alert of like germs and everything now. That does not apply to everyone. I'm speaking generally because my mom was
Yeah,
like, "Well, people still don't wash their hands and people still sneeze out." Of course, there's always gonna be people like that. But I think as like maybe a majority, people are more alert of sickness and everything. At least in like I don't know here in America. I don't know. I think things will get back to normal. I'm pretty optimistic about it. I think it's just gonna be a long like transfer period. I don't say things are gonna get back to normal for maybe like 5 years.
for like another 5 years.
Yeah,
Man, that long?
Not to say that, I mean like completely back to normal, where like COVID vaccines are like the flu. You know, I
Okay, so like,
still
how about
think,
like mask? So like, how about like mask and everything? When do you think they're gonna say you can take off your mask?
and things will be completely back to normal 5 years.
Wow,
I still think there's gonna be people wearing masks and like freaked out.
really? You still think people are gonna be wearing masks like 3 years from now?
Yes,
Holy crap! I can't do that.
I know. And
Oh
then because
wow.
we're gonna keep having spikes during the summer. It's gonna go down in the winter and the cold, and it's gonna spike during the summer.
That yeah, yeah. Because I mean, I feel like that is totally true.
If you look at a
Because
diagram, it's gonna look like a roller coaster going up and down between the cold and warm seasons.
yeah, that makes sense. Um,
And
yeah, because like I was saying, the water park is going back to full capacity,
which is
which is
stupid.
yeah, which is when I heard what full capacity was for the water park. That's 1,770 people at the water park. That's full capacity.
My
So
God.
that's stupid. They were saying that I believe yeah, my school was saying that they were going back to in person learning. So like full in person learning, no hybrid, no online. They were going back to full in person learning. Um um next year.
Uh,
Also, what I heard was that, like you said with Biden, he was saying that he you can take off your mask if you have the vaccine. Now, I don't know if like there's a vaccine card that you have or anything that says you've been vaccinated. I
oh,
don't
there
know how that
is.
works.
I do have
There
it.
is,
Yeah, I
there
have
is.
one to it.
So I'm guessing that if that he makes that law, then what he's gonna say is that you probably have to show your vaccine card to
Yeah.
enter the store without a mask.
Mhm.
Which still I feel is stupid. Which I still feel is stupid. I still feel like even the people that are vaccinated should um wear the mask. Only
Mm.
reason I say it is because it's not 100% effective.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so even if that, because what I'm seeing is that it's like 92, 95% effective. So even that, that 8%, that 5%, that could be the difference from you catching the virus and dying. So even though I do personally agree with the vaccine, I still feel like we still need to be taking some of the precautions. I feel like it's cool that we are starting to loosen up on everything. We're finally starting to kind of get back to normal, and stuff like that. But still, I feel like we're rushing everything. I feel like we rush everything, and we just gonna go right back to lockdown, and we just never gonna get out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some may call us cynical, and now we think everything's doomed for the worst. I feel like
yeah.
I'm being realistic. I mean, do we really think things are gonna be like back to normal like the way they were in like a year? Come on
Yeah.
now. I mean, we underestimated when we were to be going back originally. It'll only be a month, and then we're over a year and a half in. Like
You
I
want to
don't
know
know.
something that well, a lot of people wouldn't agree with, but honestly, I feel like we have a better chance of getting back to normal with Trump out of office because when Trump was
Fiel,
in
I'm gonna
office,
stop you right. I can't. I'm out of drain from
really,
politics. I not that I don't agree. I don't want to direct this into politics.
that's fine.
I know we're passionate about it, but please, the faster run.
That's fine.
All right. uh, I don't know. I feel like we'll get back to normal pretty in a few years or so, and we'll be good.
Hopefully, because your boy's going to college or the boy's going to the military, or wherever I end up going, I can't be wearing a mask.
You
Dang.
don't want to. That's the reason why you don't want to join the military, is because
I
you
don't
have to
know.
run laps.
Honestly, and what's crazy is I was watching a documentary on boot camp on a Navy boot camp,
Navy SEALs.
and yeah,
Woo.
and because my family are Navy SEALs, my father, my uncle, my uncle, my grandfather's brother, right? So a lot of my family are Navy SEALs.
Wow.
Plus I'm a swimmer. So honestly, if I'm gonna go into the military, I'm gonna go into the military that has something to do with water, which is the Navy. So um, when I was watching like boot camp, I actually wasn't scared about anything, because it was like the only thing that's crazy is that they be hollering in your face and everything, you know.
Yeah.
That's not the only thing is them hollering in your face. But I
Yeah.
mean,
I
I
don't. It's, I
I,
don't.
I feel like I can.
I don't know, man. For me, I'm cool with like maybe the training, but I just don't want to. Look, I'm a look. I'm a civilian, fam. I respect anyone who goes into the military to fight, protect, and serve. But just the reasons why politicians get us into wars and it being corrupt to only support like the rich and the wealthy, it's fucked up. Man, the things
Yeah,
that they do to people on both sides, regardless, there's no good sides to war. I mean,
yeah, I would agree. I
it's
mean, we're not.
fucked. I'm not trying to shoot anybody up. And then to think that those same people have family at home and are fighting for what they believe in and they believe is true. It's messed up. I don't even know how war is even legal. It shouldn't be, but you know.
I mean, I would agree honestly. We're not in war now. From the videos that I've been watching, I mean, we're not in war now. At least I know Biden's sent the Trump sent. I said sent the Trump. I'm dead. he sent. He
It's not.
sent
They
the
make it
soldiers
seem like there's
home.
multiple Trumps, like he's Hydra. You cut one head off, two more grow.
Oh man. Anyway, from what I hear, and he sent the soldiers home from was it Afghanistan or Iraq.
Yeah, technically
So we're
America's
not.
longest war. It's been like 20 years since we've been over there.
Yeah. So we're not in war now. I feel like that's probably the only thing that I am scared about. But honestly, I'm not too scared about going to war. I mean, if it happens, it happens. And honestly, I'd rather be. I mean, I'm just gonna be totally honest. I'm not gonna get political here, but I mean, if we were to get into war, I would rather be in the military than I would rather be in the military fighting than just sitting at home hoping that they don't bomb us.
Again,
That's just
that
me.
goes back to the situation. If we're being invaded, of course I'm gonna get up and fight. Like that's not. I'm not saying I just we shouldn't be fight. Like no, I'm not. Let's be real. You're protecting your ass there. But I mean in terms of
Yeah,
going to other places and saying do what we
yeah, I
say,
don't agree with that.
and then
Yeah,
we're
I
gonna get
don't agree with
involved
that.
in their shit. No, half of
Yeah,
our wars we shouldn't have even been involved in.
yeah, a whole bunch of the wars we shouldn't have been involved in. Vietnam, we definitely shouldn't have been involved in.
Any
Only
of
war
the
that you said what?
like wars post World War II during the Cold War we shouldn't have been involved in.
I mean, honestly, I don't know. I feel like I kind of understand Iraq and Afghanistan, but
For
the
20 years?
longevity.
Come on now, it's
Yeah,
for
but that's
oil.
the thing. But that's the thing. The longevity of it, how long it lasted, I don't. But the reason it started, I do. Okay.
We gotta leave those people alone. They gotta leave us alone.
But that's the thing, because it was like with 9/11 and Osama bin Laden. I mean, honestly, I felt like the war should have ended after like 2009. Honestly,
Yeah.
right after Osama bin Laden was killed, I felt like that was it. The war should have ended, but they kept it going on for like another 10, 11 years. I'm like, I mean, with them attacking the Twin Towers and everything, I mean, honestly, it makes sense. I understand it. I'm not gonna say that it was wrong for them to do that. I do understand it. And
yeah.
plus, it was a whole bunch of other attacks, before 9/11, with Iran and Iraq. So
See, I don't know enough about the conflict to really speak confident of it. I'm just saying in general of knowing, having some general to know that we shouldn't have been in there as long as we were. But in terms of
yeah,
why we're involved, I don't know enough about it. I don't maybe want to come back to it with some more
definitely
knowledge on
not.
it.
Definitely not. I don't. And what's crazy is that I don't plan on being in the military too long. I'm gonna be honest. I plan on being in the middle of the military for the benefits.
I'm,
It's gonna be totally honest.
yeah, but then you have a lot of people who are involved in the military who never get their benefits and they end up getting fucked over. I mean,
From
it's
what I
happened
hear,
in
it's
my
like you got to
family.
be in the.
You
From what I
know.
hear, it's like you got to be in the military for like 2 years or so,
Yep, and
and
then
you
you
got to
have to
make a
be
certain rank. You got to
honorably
make a certain rank.
discharged.
No, not honorably discharged because you can still get the benefits while you're in the military.
Yeah, I think
But
it's the same if you're honorably discharged too, right? I think you
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
yeah, I think you just get screwed over if you like get dishonorably discharged.
yeah. Because my father was dishonorably discharged. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like my whole thing is like because, like I said, I want to go to law school.
Mhm.
So with me going to law school, and it's something that I'm passionate about. With law, it's something I'm passionate about. The only thing that I'm not passionate about is coming out of law school in debt. You know,
Mhm.
I'm not passionate about that. So it's like, what can you do? It's like you can get a job, and try to make money from it, and try to make money, and try to make enough money to pay for law school. You know,
Mhm.
you can join the military, and it'd be free of charge. So it's like, honestly, I mean, I have a military background within the family. I have family members that are in the military,
Yeah.
currently. So honestly, to me, it just seems like the best choice. At least for the benefits. Just
Mhm.
gonna be totally honest.
Yeah. I mean, if you end up going, man, great service. It's good
If I end
service.
up going, I'm gonna call my mom. I'm gonna be like, "Ma, I done messed up."
Kind of what?
You said what? I feel like because I was watching a documentary. It was like as soon as you get there, you get to make a phone call home. But as soon as you get off the bus, they hollering in your face, "Move, move, move!" And like whatever you say, whenever you have to respond back, you have to scream it. And I'm like, "Mom, I done messed up. I feel like I done messed up. I feel like I will regret as soon as I get there. Honestly, I feel like I wouldn't regret it, but I would be like, yeah, I done messed up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Them just hollering in my face and stuff. See, I got a bad attitude, and like I got anger issues. I'd be like,
You,
ooh,
but you just said earlier that you'd be able to handle that.
I can handle it. The only thing that I would probably fear is me accidentally, punching somebody in the face. With them, it's like I would like punch them in the face, and I'd be like, "Oh, I did not mean to do that." It was like I was thinking of it in my head. I didn't think I was actually gonna do it. I apologize. I didn't think I was actually gonna do it. I was just thinking of it. It's like you ever like think of something in your head and then you say it out loud and you be like, "Why did I just say that? I was not
I've
really trying to
never
say
done
that."
that.
No, oh
Nah,
my
fam.
god,
Fia, it's
that
something you
happens
should
to me
not
way
do
too
this.
often.
you gonna get you gonna get you don't want to get out before you start. Might
That
be
happens
mad
to me
about
way
that.
too often. That happens to me way too often. Like I'll be in front of my parents, right? We'll just be talking, and like in my head, I'm thinking about what I want to say, but I know I'm not gonna say that because that's disrespectful. But then
Mhm.
it'll come out, and I'm like, "Dang it, I did not mean to say it." Then like, "What'd you just say?" I'm like,
Yeah. Nah, I got a filter on that one. It's never been. I ain't gonna see because the consequences. I don't know if the consequences high. Man, nah. I think I just also have like a general like we don't go at each other like that in our family.
"Yeah,
Like I don't know. There's conflicts, but I think we always maybe not passive, but definitely I think our family has learned to just talk things out.
yeah, yeah." That makes sense.
Have a talk, man.
No, that makes sense.
Thank you all for listening to the Quirky Talks podcast. We want to thank you all for the support again. Good to have you back, Fiel.
Good
Um,
to be back.
yeah, and we'll see you on the next podcast episode.